Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Monday as you are listening to the show today. We have pre-recorded our conversation, of course, on the Zoom screen. Today we are chatting with a newbie to The Valley Today show. Kimberly Hancock is on the Zoom screen with me. She is the owner of Code Ninjas. And Kimberly, I know a little bit about it because you're one of our regulars in the Friday morning coffee break conversations that we have with the Front Royal Warren County Chamber of Commerce. But thanks for booking a time to come on the show and explain it to everybody who's listening, because I think it is such a cool thing for people to be able to learn. So tell me, what is Code Ninjas?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on today. So Code Ninjas is a place where kids can come and learn to code by building their own video games. We teach them problem solving skills, critical thinking, and STEM in a fun and safe environment. Basically, we give them a place to be themselves and meet friends and activities that, they all have in common. Right now, I think with, the way things are, this is an opportunity for kids to get together in a small group that have common interests and, just have fun. We are basically, we're aimed at kids 7 to 14 years old. Our main program is a program that is taught in our game development platform, where the kids will go from a white belt all the way through a black belt. That's why we're Code Ninjas. We're creating little ninjas. There's a lot of different activities that they do in addition to the curriculum in the belts. One of the things that we're really enjoying watching the kids learn is typing. Believe it or not, typing is something that these kids are having a lot of fun with right now. And I was really surprised that typing is as big of a hit as it is.
Yeah, because we know they're used to texting, but texting is a whole lot different than using an actual keyboard on a laptop or on a computer.
Absolutely. And I think one of the funnest things this past week, we had a kid who came in and was doing his first typing lesson, and he proceeded to show us all of the positions in the picture that it shows before the lesson, where it says, don't sit like this, don't sit like this, make sure you sit like this. So he acted all of them out and made sure that he was sitting correctly, and then did his lessons. And yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
So age 7 to 14, what about skill level? I mean, you're talking about having to teach them typing skills. Do the kids have to have any kind of skill set before they sign up to take any of your classes?
Nope, absolutely not. So because we teach foundations and we're teaching them the core concepts from the beginning, as long as they can read and follow along in a manual, and even then, if they don't have the ability, if their reading skills aren't that strong, that's why we have what's called a code sensei. And that's basically a coach that's there to help them all along the way. They've gone through the curriculum, they know the program, and our sensei Meg is just amazing in working with the kids.
And this is a national franchise. I mean, this isn't something that you've come up with on your own. Not that I would doubt for a second that you couldn't, but this is a national program that has a lot of structure and has already kind of worked out all the bugs.
It is, and that's what the amazing thing is, because they have developed all of the curriculum. The game development platform has actually been developed by the franchise also. So this is all proprietary information. We're not using someone else's information to teach the kids. We do use other tools like Scratch is a very popular tool that was developed by MIT. And Scratch is actually a tool that's used from 5-year-olds all the way through college. So it has a very wide reach. And that's a tool that we use in addition to our own curriculum. But having that support and having the support of a franchise, yeah, it's really nice to be able to have that resource. And I think developing a program like this would have just been too much for any one person to tackle because there are a lot of things to it. In addition to our Foundation Create program, we have the ability to offer parents' night outs, where that's basically a free form time for kids to come into our studio to spend 3 hours. We will have stations set up for them to have different games, different activities, things to do, but the parents get to go out and spend 3 hours just having fun. Just, they don't have to worry about the kids. And, I think that's an invaluable resource to the community that we really need to have right now.
And you're located on Main Street in downtown Front Royal. So it really does kind of open up options for them to go have dinner, take in a movie, wander around, or if they have to just run and get groceries with a little bit of peace and quiet, that makes it nice too.
Absolutely. And and that's the great thing with even with our regular program. So our regular program is aimed to be the kids come in twice a week for 1 hour sessions. And those 1 hour sessions, we tell the parents, go have a cup of coffee, go run an errand, just go and let us have your kids for an hour. And to be able to have something like that, I understand the value in that. My children are grown now, but we had something similar years ago when I lived in Austin that, I just thought was the next best thing to sliced bread because it gave me the ability I could go drop my kids off and go pay the bills or go to the grocery store, do something without them right there. Mom, mom, mom. So yes, I definitely understand the value in that.
Now, you're a Front Royal native. You're a Warren County High School grad. What about this program attracted you? Because I know you've done several things in our community. I know that you work a lot with Lisa Parker on the co op marketing program. You do a lot of social media and creative things for other businesses in the community. What about Code Ninjas made you decide this is one I want to put all of my efforts into?
So I moved back here to the community about 3 years ago. And in moving back here, I recognized that the community had a lot of the same deficiencies that it had when I was growing up here. There's not a lot to do. I mean, we have an amazing Main Street with businesses that are growing, and there's a lot more to do on Main Street than there has been. But there aren't really, I would love to see a mini golf here. I would love to see some more family-based entertainment opportunities. And I started looking around, and that was actually one of the things that I was looking into was maybe bringing that to Front Royal. And in my searching and in my own background of project management, web development, graphic design, I came across Code Ninjas, and it spoke to my heart because when I was growing up here, if I'd had a program that pointed me in any type of direction like this, I would have latched onto it. It was several years after high school before I actually found my way to the tech world. And I was very fortunate that I was in Austin. I was picked up by Dell Computer Corporation with a high school diploma, and I was given an opportunity. And that's why when I found Code Ninjas, I really felt like it was the right thing to bring to Front Royal, as opposed to a more family entertainment type business, because I really felt like, kids need something. They need, this is something that most kids are interested in video games. They're either interested in playing them or they watch other people playing them. And, so there is a lot of interest there, and finding something that is a teaching resource with something that they love to do, just that spoke to me.
I have a lot of conversations throughout the different months with my regular guests. Guy Curtis from Lord Fairfax Community College's Workforce Solutions, Sally Michaels from the Frederick County EDA. And a lot of what they talk about is getting the youth involved and talking to our kids about what they're interested in so they can tailor those interests to an educational path that will then lead to a career path. And you're really offering that opportunity for parents to see, is this something that could be something?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I was growing up, I was fortunate that the 4-H extension agent moved into my neighborhood, and he discovered that we didn't have a group. And we were, we were a neighborhood. We weren't necessarily an agricultural area. And he was like, but it doesn't matter. So he created a group in our neighborhood, and that taught me so much. But because it was 4-H, I was able to, enter crafts in the county fair. I was able to, eventually I became the president of the 4-H club because, that's just what happened. But it was a learning experience, and I was so glad that we had that. And, recognizing that that was the only thing that we had, but they were able to still customize it to those of us who didn't necessarily have agriculture, didn't have, the other types of things that, you might think of when you think of 4-H. That made it a very special and very valuable experience growing up.
Well, and it's interesting too because Stacy from the Warren County Extension Office is going to be on the show this Friday. They get a regular show every month, and this month she's talking about 4-H, and she has taught me so much over the years about, because I was like that. I thought, well, 4-H is just raising cattle and showing them in livestock shows, and I had no idea that you could build robots, and there are all of these things that are offered now through 4-H that are going to be great partners for you, I would guess, moving forward.
Absolutely. Even years ago, I was able to participate in one act plays and, be the MC for the talent show, and things like that, that just, yeah, I mean, those were opportunities that I wouldn't have had without 4-H. And yeah, it's a great organization, and you immediately think, livestock and cattle, and it's so much more than that. It really is.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to ask you about your founding families because I know that you still have some openings for that, and it offers a little bit of a discount to some of the families that are kind of getting in on the ground floor. And I want to talk about a virtual component because I understand that you are just now able to start offering some virtual stuff that may help some of those parents who just aren't comfortable having their kids leave the house and go somewhere else. So, can we cover those two topics in the next segment?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation. We are chatting today with Kimberly Hancock. She is the owner of Code Ninjas. They are located on Main Street in Front Royal. We'll get all of the details about how you can reach out to her when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/Quick Money Chat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a Quick Money Chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/Quick Money Chat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Monday as you are listening to the show today. We, however, have pre-recorded our conversation on the Zoom screen. We are chatting today with Kimberly Hancock. She is the owner of Code Ninjas, and they are located on Main Street in Front Royal. Kimberly, where are you exactly on Main Street in Front Royal?
So we are located at 217 East Main Street, suite number 4. That suite is actually upstairs. Our office is in between Royal Spice and the Daily Grind coffee shop. There are 2 green doors, One of those green doors has a mailbox on it and a Code Ninjas magnet on the mailbox. We're a little difficult to find. I do understand that. And we are hoping to have our sign approved for the sidewalk this week so that when we are in session, people will know exactly how to find us.
Well,
But
you're a ninja. You're not supposed to be that easily found.
hey, yeah, and yeah, it's the secret door. But yeah, we are on a second floor. I did specifically choose a second floor office because I feel like this is a great support business for Main Street. I didn't feel like taking a retail space would, be. I thought there are better options for retail space on Main Street. And so for us to be on a second floor, it was just a perfect fit. Plus, it's an added level of security. There's only one way in or out of the building. Don't have to worry about, really don't have to worry about much.
So explain to me the space. You mentioned earlier that you do in-person classes up to 5 kids. Is that because of COVID? Will that expand if we ever get to the other side of this? How does it work inside the classroom?
Yes. So basically, right now, that is a COVID requirement or a COVID restriction is that we can have 7 people in our space. We have approximately 400 square foot. And so the way that we've designated that is 5 students and either the code sensei and director or manager in the office at the time. So that gives us the ability to have 2 adults and the kids, 1 adult and the kids. But yes, we do anticipate once the COVID restrictions have been released that, we will be able to have more kids in the dojo. Right now, the way we have our workstations set up, the kids are 6 foot apart. We have 8-foot tables, each table set up with a monitor, a laptop, a mouse for the kids. And then the tables are also 6 foot apart in the dojo. And yeah, when a kid comes in, they'll come in for their session, they'll scan in, the computer will check them in, it'll show on the TV screen that they're logged in, and then they go to a workstation that has been sanitized and cleaned, and they sit down, log into the system, and pick up where they left off the last time they were there.
So it's pretty seamless.
It is pretty seamless.
So tell me about founding families. I saw the post on your Facebook page. I'm guessing these are the smart parents who get in early.
Right. So right now we are basically in a soft open status until we do our grand opening January the 16th. And what that means is we have the ability to offer some specials and discounts. And one of those is the founding family discount. That gives families a discounted rate for the first month and then continues that discounted rate as long as they continue their subscription with us.
And then you've got some really cool special pricing for the first month in case, like we've all had kids that want to play a musical instrument and you spend all the money and you buy the music instrument, you get them the lessons, and 3 lessons in, you realize they're never going to play the flute or the trumpet or the trombone. You have some special pricing that kind of covers that little window of opportunity.
Yes, we absolutely understand that, what holds the child's attention today may not hold it tomorrow. And so we do offer a special rate for the first month. Even after our founding family special has ended, we will be offering special rates for the first month.
And the Create program, is that the overall program that you offer?
Yes, so the Create program really is our foundation program. And what that program offers is 2 visits a week at 1 hour for each of those visits. So it's a total of 8 hours a month, which if you think about it for tech learning, 8 hours a month, that's a lot of instruction time.
And do the kids do anything on their own when they're at home to study or prep? Do they need any extra equipment or anything along those lines?
No, so everything that they do in the dojo, we provide everything for them. The computers that they need, any of the robotics that they need, we actually provide all of that in the dojo. And so in the event that, we actually go remote, what we do in that situation is, we'll work with the kids. If they need help with technology, we can loan them out technology, we can loan them out robotics. So, we'll make sure that they have access to those things.
And I know you're going to be rolling out a virtual component to your program in the coming weeks. What is that going to look like?
Yep. So that is actually going to be a little different right now because we do have the ability to have 5 children in the dojo. Our sessions can be one code sensei to 5 ninjas. Once we go virtual, then the senseis will actually only have 3 ninjas that they'll be working with at a time. So they'll have the same ability to learn and to work through the curriculum, but it'll be a little bit of a smaller group for the senseis to be able to work with.
And this isn't necessarily a COVID thing. I mean, it's coming in pretty handy because we're in the middle of a pandemic, but this is something parents can choose just because they may not have the time or the ability to bring their kids physically to Main Street, drop them off for an hour, and come back and get them.
That's correct. And the other thing with our program is that, if your child decides that they don't want to come twice a week, we do have the ability to be flexible and we can change them over to a once a week program. If your child decides they want to come 4 times a week, we could actually fast track them and put them on a quicker program. It really is dependent on the child, how they want to learn and how they're progressing through the program.
Now, you mentioned in the first segment the parents' night out. Do they have to be part of the program in order for a parent to drop their kid off for one of your parents' night outs? Nights out? How does I don't know how that goes. Parent nights out. Yeah.
It's a tongue twister, Parents Night Out. So our Parents Night Out are basically a free form event for the children to get together in our dojo and have time to socialize together. If they are subscribed to the curriculum, it'll be a time where they're in there not working on the curriculum. We will actually have 5 stations set up for the kids to do different activities, things they can work on together, things they can work on alone. We'll have movies, we'll provide dinner, those types of things. But no, they don't need to be subscribed to the Create program to actually come and enjoy a parents' night out at our center.
And I'm guessing since you do only have space for 5 kids, they have to register in advance or at least make a reservation of some sort so you know when you're full.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, all of the registration for our Parents Night Out are done online on our website. And it's very easy for a parent to go there and sign up. If they go to codeninjas.com/VA front royal, that'll bring up the main website. And from there, it's just a drop down under programs that goes to Parents Night Out. And you'll be able to register right there. I do also have links in all of the events on Facebook for direct registration to them also.
And then how would somebody find you on Facebook? What should they search for?
On Facebook, it's just Code Ninjas Front Royal, Virginia.
And that makes it easier because I know that you can go to your website from there too. And so many of us start with Facebook before we go anywhere else these days.
Absolutely. Yes. And I've made sure to publish all of our events on Facebook as well, like I said, with direct registration links, because it is easier. I understand it is easier for parents to just go and register directly.
And I'm guessing since you're doing these classes at certain times of the day throughout the week, do you have normal business hours or is it better for somebody to call or email you?
So we're 100% by appointment only. So basically what that means is that in order to schedule a game building session, because we do offer free 30-minute game building sessions and tours, or in order to schedule time for your child to come in for a session, that does all need to be done online. That is a part of the COVID restrictions, and because we do have a limited number of seats in the dojo. And I think our hours will continue to be by appointment only, even as things continue, just due to the size limitation that we have.
And I know you're planning in the next couple of weeks an actual grand opening. You mentioned earlier you're in that soft opening phase and you're going to do a ribbon cutting and that sort of thing. And you just now mentioned tours. Those are always available for a parent who just wants to get more information.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, there is a link both on our Facebook and on our website to book a tour. And you can book those 24 hours in advance.
Oh, that makes it a whole lot easier.
Yes.
So tell me where you're located one more time and where people can get more information.
Yes. So we are located at 217 East Main Street, Suite number 4, Front Royal, Virginia. And the best place to get information is always going to be Facebook, because we do post our events and post everything there. And that is facebook.com/Code Ninjas Front Royal.
Well, Kimmy, thank you. Oh, Kimberly, thank you. See, this is the upside and the downside to knowing the people that are on the show. I'm a little too familiar. Kimberly, officially, thank you so much for taking some time to meet me on the Zoom screen today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving me the time to let everybody know about Code Ninjas. I'm so excited to bring this program to the community. I think it's just, I'm very happy. I'm excited.
I will make sure that links to everything that we talked about today are up on the show notes page, so you can always head over to theriver953.com and click on the podcast tab to get that. Tomorrow is Tourism Tuesday, Clark County edition, so I'm going to be conversating with Nathan from the Clark County Historical Association. We're going to be talking about the new name for the museum, the new tagline, some new programs that they have in 2021. We are looking full steam ahead, so meet me back here tomorrow just a few minutes after noon, and I will have that show ready to go for you.